In the land of the portentous dimension, in the joyous woods, there stretched a river, and beside that river stood a hovel of wood, a quiet hovel as it was known. Underneath the hovel were rooms where a family of rat people lived in contentment. This is the tale of one of those rats, by the name of Meep Cheesenibble. Meep's father and grandpa built the hovel themselves. They chose this spot for the river teeming with fish and the safe woods that the children could run around in. Meep's father, Tutch, was a carpenter who spent his days making furniture and dabbling in crafting armor made of bone. That was until the dwarf came. Captain Brassbud was an envoy from faraway lands. The rat folk had never even heard of those lands, and they'd never even seen a dwarf before now. So Meep and his siblings conspired in their attic, wondering what to do.
We need to do something about this, Grape. I don't think we should, Meep. What would we do anyway? I don't know, but we have to confront the dwarf and demand some answers.
Meep mulled it over in his mind. It was all so unfair, he thought. Something which he valued greatly, fairness. It seemed the world had run out of fairness.
Hello, good sirs. I've come to inform you and your household that this land has been acquired by the Scorched Mountain Mining Guild. The Mining Guild requires the vacation of the premises before the moon's turn.
Hang on, we live here. This is an outrage. My pa and grandpa built this house. What's going to happen to our house?
Your home will become a quarry.
No! I can't allow that to happen.
Should you wish to forestall the eviction or state your case to the Mining Guild's master, you could find our guild post at the dwarven tower known as Square Island.
I wouldn't know my way there. I only know my way around these joyous woods.
Ah, the Mining Guild would be happy to lend you a worker to escort you to the guild station. The fellow that we'd assign you is named Uzol.
Meep was provided with a map. It seemed like such a long distance to travel for so small a critter, but Meep was certain on saving his home from becoming a mining pit of despair. So he said his farewells and greeted his new companion Uzol.
Hello, my name is Uzol. I am at your service. When shall we set off?
Hang on, I need to gather a few things up. My father's old armour, some bolts, his bone leggings, and this cat bone helmet.
Ah, what a terrific work of craftsmanship, worthy of the mountain home.
Whatever you say, I ain't never seen no mountain, or no home.
Why, you live in such a splendid home already, sire.
Well, your compliments are empty, Uzol. It will be demolished soon enough. Bye-bye, mother, father, sister, brother. Farewell, Meep.
And so Meep set off with Uzol as his guide. There hopefully would be little trouble seeing their way to the guild post. But the first stop was very close by, a dugout in the side of a hill, where the dwarves had already begun living, perhaps some weeks ago, without notice.
How long have you lot been hiding out here?
Well, I would say about 2 or 3 weeks.
It was inevitable. Why didn't you let us know 3 weeks ago then that we'd have to leave?
Yes, well, I am sorry for that. You see, bureaucracy and all that.
No, I'm afraid I don't know. Don't even know what bureaucracy is?
Yes, I suppose you wouldn't.
There's dwarves everywhere. And what's all this? A stash of goods?
Ah, yes, the guild sent us with an excessive amount of equipment. Though truth be told, we were sent to prospect first, to test the waters, so to speak.
So, this is all just lying around here, is it then?
Oh, for now, yes. Though I do say, go ahead and use whatever takes your fancy. Otherwise, it will just sit here until the workers arrive.
Oh, right. Thanks very much then. I'll just take this crossbow and some of these things.
Meep explored the makeshift dwarven camp. To his surprise, they were well equipped. The dwarven mountain home must be rich indeed, he thought. Though he had never lived in discomfort in his hovel, he had never truly known excess, only using tools for which could be crafted readily at hand, and only eating food that they grew or caught themselves. But it was time to set off again. I've been all right.
Don't be afraid to do anything to get ahead in this world, Uzol.
Yes, sire, I can see it clearly now. So the pair set off, traversing the joyous woods. Uzol led Meep to an elven tree village. Though no elves were found, it had been abandoned. It sent shivers down Meep's spine to see a marketplace for the first time, even though it was empty. The pair came upon a troop of fluffy womblers as they left the village. Meep had never seen creatures so adorable. The way they bubbled in the evening light, it was truly a magical moment. To consult the map for a moment, the company of Cheesenibble had not even ventured out of the joyous woods so far. They yet had a long journey ahead of them. The next step was to leave the wondrous wilds for good, and so they came to the forest's edge, where they met a dry, barren land before them. They had to cross it. Luckily, it was only small. It was the first desert that Meep had ever seen. So onward they travelled. As the sun set, they reached a river. I realize the worthlessness of fairness, sire. I am very satisfied. They would have to find a crossing first, as Uzol couldn't swim, much like many dwarfs. Meep was surprised. While Meep was searching for a crossing, he suddenly realized that Uzol was nowhere to be seen. The encroaching darkness meant that Meep could barely see a few meters ahead of him. So Meep searched desperately, all the while hearing sounds of battle, curses and swipes, and the hooting of strange beasts. Suddenly he came upon blood soaked into the dirt. And panic set in, and he wallowed for a moment, hoping against hope that Uzol lived. And just when he lost hope, Uzol came stumbling out of the dark, completely naked, except for a pair of torn gloves and shoes. He was covered in blood, with many deep wounds all over his face, legs, and arms. Well, sire, we've got beasts.
It's terrifying. Hey, Uzol, it's great to have a friend like you. I'm glad you're safe.
Hello, sire. It's good to see you.
Stumbling around in the dark looking for a river crossing was not wise, so the pair stopped to make camp. They lit a nice warm fire and rested their laurels.
Awake, sir! The dingoes, they followed the scent of my blood.
Uh-oh.
I must withdraw.
It was a sheer panic. Meep ran and doubled back. They were surrounded.
How fragile we are, sir. Begone, fear.
Uzol shouted. Meep decided to stand his ground. He pulled his crossbow out and fired off some wooden bolts, but he had no martial training, so he kept missing. The dingo lunged at him again and again, driving him back. But luckily Meep was agile and managed to dodge the beast's attacks. They collided and Meep was dazed. He stumbled away and broke off. He saw Uzol running too, and the pair left off, running in the early morning light. There were still long leagues to go yet. Uzol and Meep continued through the forests, running from the dingoes, hot at their heels. Would they reach their destination? We'll have to find out another day.